Hello and welcome everyone. Today I'm going to be making a review on the Arc'teryx Nuclei Severe Weather Parka. This is their warmest, completely synthetic jacket they sell. There's a lot of cool things about it and a lot of research went into my decision making before buying it. So yeah, let's get into it. So really quick, this is not going to be a review so much as it's just going to be a first impressions video. That is because I literally just got it today. Number one, I got the extra large because that was all that was in stock, and I'm not sure if that's my size. I think it's a little too big. Another thing is that, wow, is this thing way more poofy than I thought it was going to be. I mean, it looks like a down puffer for sure. It's huge. It makes me look very fat. The hood has a ton more insulation than I was expecting, and one of the main reasons that I chose to get this jacket was, instead of, for example, the DOS Parka, is because the hood on this guy is compatible with a helmet, but more importantly, it's compatible when you're not wearing a helmet. So without the hood cinch, this is what it would be, like this, which is just impossible. But luckily, since it has a hood cinch, we're perfect right here. Alright, so quickly going into the jacket, we have two huge drop pockets on both sides. The stuff sack for the jacket is going to be found in the right hand pocket, and that's actually attached to the jacket. You could cut it off if you want to, but I'm going to keep that attached. They go all the way down to here. So not only that, but we have two hand warmer pockets in the front. These two hand warmer pockets have a really comfortable felt in there. They just, on the outside of the pocket, that just makes it super warm. Huge entrances for both the hand warming pockets, and then it only has one chest pocket, unfortunately. But it's a big boy, so that's not too much of an issue. It's all the way up into here, and all the way like that. So here's how the jacket looks when I bring my arms all the way up. As you can see, it's made for rock climbers, so it really does not get too high above. It doesn't stretch the whole jacket up when I do that. So I am 6'1" at 175 pounds. This is the extra large. I have an Arc'teryx Proton LT hoodie. That thing fits me perfectly. I really love that guy as a mid-layer, and it's honestly a huge reason why I went for this jacket as well, because that one fits me really nicely. And I have a whole video on my Arc'teryx Proton if you want to check it out. My point being, this thing fits a lot differently than my Proton. I mean, it is just bulky, like really bulky. And granted, I do have the XL. I think the large would have been a much better choice for me. Yeah, it fits kind of a rounder shape. I do like that it goes all the way down over my butt, but if they did have a large in stock, I definitely would have gone for that, just because there'd be less dead space inside the jacket. So, the question that everybody's wondering, how warm is it? How well does it work in really cold temperatures? Because, you know, obviously when you're buying a synthetic jacket versus a down jacket, you know, yes, you can use it in very wet environments, but you're obviously gonna sacrifice some warmth. There's no synthetic material that's as light as down and as warm. So this guy being pretty darn light, pretty darn packable, how warm is it? And unfortunately, I really can't answer that question right now, because I literally just got it in the mail yesterday. But standing in my house, which is probably about 16 degrees Celsius, I am sweating my ass off right now. It's super freaking warm. I haven't even taken it outside yet. It's about -2 degrees Celsius outside right now. I mean, you really just need to get out in real weather to make a real review. So unfortunately, I'm not going to have too much information about that in this video, but in the future I will. So a little bit of backstory on why I went with this particular jacket versus any other jacket I could get. No, I'm not a rock climber, and I'm not going to be using it for belaying in extreme icy mountain peak conditions. So why did I buy this jacket? Well, number one, I really didn't want to get a down jacket, because when down jackets get wet, or are exposed to perspiration from your body, they degrade really fast. If you wash them too many times, they just are not even useful anymore. Thinking about that, I was like, okay, I want to do a synthetic jacket. I'm just gonna get set on a synthetic jacket so that I can have a nice durable jacket that no matter what, if I don't know if it's gonna rain, but it might rain, or it's like sleet, slushing, I don't know if it's gonna snow or rain, whatever, I can have one jacket that I just grab and I say, okay, it might be wet, it might not be. I'm going to be warm either way. That's the mindset I wanted, just one jacket to do whatever the hell I wanted. So then that took me down the rabbit hole of which synthetic insulation is best. I'm still pretty confused on that. There are so many different types of insulation. There's Primaloft, Corloft, Thermalite, and a bunch of other ones, and a bunch of different versions of those I just mentioned. To sum everything up really quick, I think the best insulation I found and that lasts the longest was Arc'teryx's Corloft, which was a huge reason I went with this guy. I forget the name, but the insulation that was in there, Dully Parka, which this Nuclei jacket replaced the Dully Parka, which is a jacket that everyone loved a ton and was super warm and had a ton of good reviews. So back to the point of insulation. The main thing I found with synthetic insulation, there's a bunch of different types, is having continuous insulation is much more important than anything else. So with any synthetic jacket, you're going to have continuous and non-continuous. Continuous just means there's literally a sheet, there's no spaces, there's just a sheet of insulation inside your jacket. With non-continuous, it's similar to a down jacket where they just put a bunch of synthetic fluff, polyester fluff, into a bunch of tiny little pockets. And while that is great for some jackets, over time, just like a down jacket, the fluff, especially since it's synthetic jackets are generally ones you're going to take in the rain and you're going to get wet and you're going to wash more. So over time, the non-continuous jacket, the fluff in those little pockets, say this is one of those little pockets that the fluff is in, it will start sinking to the bottom because it gets washed more, etc. A jacket with continuous insulation is not going to suffer the same fate as a jacket like that. With any nice expensive jacket like this, of course you're not going to want to wash it all the time regardless. You're going to want to keep good care of it. You're still not going to want to sweat a ton in it. It's just going to hold up better to the inevitable wash or the inevitable sweating in it conditions. So that's pretty much it. I'll leave a few links to my sources I used in my decision making. I'm super happy with the jacket. The look of it I'm not super happy with, but the warmth I'm happy with and the utility of the jacket I'm super happy with. So yeah, overall I'm really excited to start trying it out, and just to give you guys a little taste of how it looks and what you can expect if you were to buy this jacket. I know when I was doing looking up reviews of this guy on YouTube, I literally couldn't find anything, so that's mainly why I'm making this video. So one last thing I'd like to say about this jacket, which I think is really important, and one more thing I forgot to touch on of why I got this. Number one, it can stuff down so super small. I mean, obviously not as small as a lot of down jackets can, but pretty darn close. It stuffs down small enough that it's not going to be a huge problem to put into a suitcase as a really warm jacket. Say you're traveling to another country for, a month, you're going to want to bring like one suitcase and you're not going to want to just fill it with one giant jacket. That's why I think this is one of the all-time best all-around jackets. It is literally, it stuffs down to about the size of your head. It can be in the rain and it still keeps you warm in the rain. It dries super quickly. I mean, it's meant to be put into a backpack, into a rock climber's backpack. It's not going to do much damage to your carry-on bag or your suitcase in an airport. And it's going to keep you super freaking warm. So just all those factors, the fact that it can be used in wet conditions, it can stuff down to a super small size, it's lightweight, it's like 600 grams. I mean, yeah, just everything about it. It's like, there's like no place you can go that this wouldn't be a great jacket to have. Alrighty, so now I'm just going to go into a little bit more of the close-ups of the jacket and kind of talk to you a little bit more about just things that come to mind. So here we have our hand warmer pockets. Absolutely massive entrance there, which I love. Another thing that I really liked about this guy is it has like the softest fleece material on the inside of those pockets, just on the top though, so not on the bottom half. But it keeps the outside of your fingers super warm when it's in there. Another cool thing about this guy is that it uses core loft. What I've heard is that core loft, it keeps its loft, like its puffiness and its insulative values, a lot better than Prima loft. I'm not sure how true that is, but so they say. So here we have our left-handed hand warmer pocket. Same thing as the first guy. Really, really nice. Oh my god. Freaking love it. So stoked this guy came in the mail. At the bottom of the jacket, since this is actually a Belay jacket, we have a little button here, and so you can keep that guy buttoned. That's super important for all the actual rock climber people. For all y'all out there who are gonna be rock climbing, yes, it has one of those super important buttons. And then obviously it has the double action zipper. Coming up to the chest pocket here, big old guy with a huge entrance here, a lot bigger than my Proton. No felt in this guy. This big chest pocket goes all the way here. So let's take a closer look at these inside massive drop pockets here. So here's my hand, and that is the full, this square here is the full area of the drop pocket. Absolutely massive. Could hold a pair of giant gloves, a huge 2-liter water bottle, whatever you want to keep warm in there. It's got 2 of those. In this pocket, it has the stuff sack. I have already showed you the stuff sack, but there it is. Has a little cinch on top. And that's just connected right here with a little rope. You can cut that no problem if you want it separate from your bag. Coming to the bottom of the jacket here, we have 2 waist cinches, absolutely essential. Got one here, and we got one right here. Okay, that's almost everything. Yeah, I don't know how I can explain it any better, the thickness of this guy. It doesn't seem super thick when you see it like this and when you see it online, but once you have it on you, it's a thick boy. It's almost like a down puffer. One other thing about this is that the air permeability is not great. So as you can see, when I pack it down, like when you put it in the stuff sack, I mean barely anything is getting through there. So alright, so bringing us back up to the hood, which has an absolute crap load of insulation. Keep the noggin super warm. We have this head cinch right here. There's the hood with it pulled all the way back, and it looks just about perfect. But if you want to be a Sith Lord, then you can just crank that guy off and it'll just hang way over. Back side of the jacket, just a big old single piece right here. Inside of the jacket, same old thing. You know, it seems like if it were to scrape against rocks or anything, or like a sharp, like it doesn't snag on anything. It's a material that just brushes like anything off of it. Like I'm not gonna do this, but I feel like if I had like a knife or like just like a butter knife or something, like I could just drag it along and it wouldn't do anything to it. Or if I was walking, say, through like a bunch of blackberry bushes, like this just wouldn't even be a problem. It wouldn't snag at all. So that's pretty much gonna be it. Super amazing jacket. I'm super lucky to have it. Yeah, thank you so much for watching.